extremely gutsy effort. We're extremely proud of them for the focus and the poise they played with. Coach Cronin, Coach O'Connell, and myself have worked hard to get them to this level, and we're very proud of them buying into the system that we as a coaching staff have come up with. And it's great to see them coming together right now at this time of the season.
When you see what happened at the end with BC putting all the pressure for them to be able to withstand that and still come away with 2 points, and Greg's been saying all year they're a very resilient bunch, and you can see that a lot tonight.
Absolutely, their resiliency was amazing all week long. Even at the Beanpot last night, coming back from all these goals down, is an amazing accomplishment against such a powerful and amazing team that they have on the other side. So absolutely, my hat goes out to these guys in the locker room for what they've accomplished in the last 6-7 days, whatever it is.
What did you have to lean on this weekend to kind of keep the guys focused on hockey and not worry about what's going on around them?
Just talk about hockey. All we talked about is what we have to accomplish, what Greg has been telling us to do, and that's what we've been doing, is focusing on what we teach him, what we've been practicing, and we haven't been talking about any of the distractions.
Coach, not necessarily a whole lot to build on a 7-6, 7-7 game, but going into the playoffs now, your potential spot tonight, with a game like this, there's a lot that you can build on. What do you take when you tell the team that they can really work on the next 2 weeks to get ready for those quarterfinals?
Well, we're going to take, UNH is next on the calendar. UNH got an extremely powerful offense, so obviously we're going to tighten up our defense and decrease the odd man rushes and decrease the opportunities they have right in the slot area and in the dangerous area. That's the main thing we'll be focusing on as far as defensively and tightening up, because you can't give that many shots to too many of these good teams in first position, second position, and hope to win too many games. So we need to build on the confidence piece of it, in which the guys have right now. They believe in themselves. They have a lot of confidence in themselves, and it certainly bodes well for the last couple of weeks of the season.
It's been such a tumultuous week. I mean, obviously the loss isn't what you want from the Beanpot, but it was a great game, and last night was pretty wild as well. How important has it been just these last 6 games to keep the emotions in check?
It's extremely important, obviously, and I think, like I said, the leadership in the room, the captains, Wade, Tyler, even Stevie Silva, without a letter on his shirt, has done a great job, that line, of keeping everybody in check and keeping everybody focused. The bench was tremendous tonight. Everybody was focused. Everybody was talking, saying the right things, and it's a testament to the focus they had on just executing what the game plan was.
Talk about the commitment that we saw tonight from the defense. A lot more block shots than we saw on Monday, last night. So what do you attribute that to? Just being home, harder work?
I think it's just being calm and poised and not getting ourselves out of position and just containing and putting ourselves in the lane instead of chasing our tail. They did do a great job blocking shots, and I think it's the forwards as well. But it all starts from just staying calm and just containing instead of chasing.
It seems like Robbie's made a pretty immediate impact on that second line. You want to talk about how he's played and how those guys kind of adapted with him?
His speed is a factor. Whenever you have a guy on the team that skates like him, you've seen the impact that Dongara's had on the lineup night in and night out. And what Robbie Vrolik brings is about the same type of intensity, his enthusiasm. He's got really good skills, a great shot. So obviously we were missing him the first half of the season, and we're very happy he's back, because every game he looks more and more comfortable. And as I said earlier, it bodes well for the rest of the season.
Coach, can you talk about Chris Rollins just bouncing back after 14 goals in the last 2 games? Obviously not all his fault, but just the same, had a strong game tonight as well.
Chris came back here this year after the summer with the plan in mind of being the guy and taking us and winning some hardware. And I think it's him, just a testament to his focus. And I think it's, I talked about it as far as the group's concerned, but I think it's him as well, just staying focused. A lot of credit goes to our goalie coach, our volunteer coach, John Corrado, who's done a great job with him, keeping him. He deserves it. Keeping him focused and keeping him, like I said, focused on what he needs to do. He does a great job of identifying some of the weaknesses that he might have, or some of the strengths that the shooters on the other side do, and it prepares Chris real well.
Sebastien, what have you had to do differently? Your tasks behind the bench these last 2 nights, now that you're sort of the guy in charge?
Well, when I've been behind the bench, Albie and I usually handle the forward, so that hasn't been too much different. The defensemen are self-reliable, so to speak. They change themselves anyway, so it hasn't been too hard. Greg usually is on the D side, so there hasn't been too much to adapt to in those two games, though.
Coach, what was the locker room like heading into the third period? You had a 1-goal lead, late goal, a lot of momentum after essentially playing sort of like you're killing penalties almost for the first 2 periods.
Yeah.
1-goal lead, number 1 team in the country in your own barn. What was it like in the locker room?
I would say calm, poised, confident. That's how it was. The guys were focused on the task at hand, and you could see in their eyes, and they were looking forward to the period starting again.
Coach, you've gone toe-to-toe with them for this is the 4th time. This is pressure. Feel the pressure's off you now after beating number 1 team, and now you guys got the.
Well, I wouldn't say the pressure is off, because now again we're facing UNH, who's probably standing in first position right now. The pressure is still on us. We still have to accomplish our plan. We still have to come and compete and get some points. I mean, we clinched playoffs tonight, but we're certainly not going to stop right now. We want to keep going up and see where we can end up in the standings and get better positioning for the playoffs. But I think it's not so much the pressure's off as much as there's a little bit more believability in the locker room that this group can accomplish great things if we stick to our plan.
Coach, you said you clinched the playoffs tonight. Can you talk about what that means for this team, being that you guys missed it last year? You got a lot of young guys in the team who haven't been there yet. What does that mean for the team just to actually be in and know the next 2 weekends that no matter what, you're going to have a spot?
Well, that's what you play for, and that's what us, Coach Cronin and O'Connell and myself have been working for, is to get our guys into the playoffs and get the points along the way that are going to make a difference. And obviously, since the break, the guys have responded really well to the game plan, and you can see we've been able to see the improvement all along. It just click, a bounce here, a bounce there. Now it looks like we're getting some of those bounces. So absolutely, making the playoffs is a huge part of our goals for the season. Now we just got to keep it going and not rest and think that we've accomplished something.
Last question. When you play a team 3 times in 6 days, what's different about the flow of the game, the familiarity, everything like that?
I think when you play a team like this, you can never rest. There's a certain level of familiarity that gets built by playing them 3 times in such a short amount of time. So the preparation piece of it certainly wasn't as hard or as complicated as it was before we played them in the Beanpot. But as far as preparation, having to be focused and having to be on your toes the whole game, that never changes against an opponent of that caliber.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.